Success doesn't come to you. It doesn't knock politely. It doesn't send a text. It doesn't care if you're ready. Because success isn't a delivery. It's a transformation. It doesn't arrive. It emerges from you. Through you. From the inside out. Not from luck. Not from circumstance. Not from hoping the world changes. But from becoming someone the world can't ignore. People wait. They wait for opportunity. For motivation. For timing. They wait for someone to come along and say, "Now is your moment. You're ready." But that moment never comes. Because it's not given. It's claimed. And the truth is, most people never claim it. Because claiming it requires something painful. It requires you to grow. Not someday. Now. Right here. In the thick of your excuses. In the middle of your distractions. In the battlefield of your comfort zone. Let me tell you something. Success doesn't respond to your wishes. It responds to your standards. It listens to what you tolerate. It watches what you repeat. And it rewards what you become. The question isn't, when will my time come? The real question is, who must I become for my time to matter? Your life is a mirror. It reflects not what you want, but what you are. You don't get what you dream about. You get what you're disciplined enough to deserve. It's not complicated. It's not a mystery. But it is hard. And most people will do anything to avoid hard. They will rationalize mediocrity with poetry. They will justify staying small with logic. They will call their potential someday. But life doesn't run on someday. It runs on decisions. Repeated. Relentlessly. Ruthlessly. Until the new you leaves no room for the old you. You must understand this. Every day you are becoming someone. Through your habits. Through your words. Through your choices. You are building a life or breaking it. No one drifts into greatness. No one accidentally ends up disciplined. No one finds themselves with strong character by chance. You don't stumble into excellence. You carve it. With blood and sweat. With intention. With fire. Success is not about talent. It's about identity. It's about deciding, deep in your bones, I will not be the same person I was yesterday. Not because I hate who I am, but because I believe in who I could become. There's an old story about a young man who came to a wise mentor and said, "I want success more than anything." The mentor said, "Meet me at the river at dawn." Confused but determined, the young man showed up. The mentor walked him into the water. Deeper and deeper. Until the water reached his neck. Suddenly, the mentor pushed his head under the surface. The young man flailed, panicked, fought. Finally, he pulled him up and said, "When you want success as badly as you just wanted air, then you'll be ready. You say you want it. But do you want it more than comfort? More than fitting in? More than sleep? More than your excuses?" Because life doesn't hand success to the interested. It hands it to the committed. To the ones who refuse to outsource their future. To the ones who stop blaming and start building. To the ones who understand that success doesn't come to you, it comes through you. You want change? Then change must start with you. Don't ask for a better life with the same mindset. Don't expect a new result from old habits. Don't pray for success and then spend your time like a victim. You must become a person worthy of the results you seek. Not once. Not occasionally. But daily. Discipline is not a punishment. It is a signal. A declaration to life that says, "I am serious about who I'm becoming." Responsibility is not a burden. It is the birthplace of freedom. When you take full ownership of your life, no more blaming, no more waiting. You unlock the only power that matters. The power to change. Understand this. The most dangerous lie is the one that sounds kind. The one that says, "Take it easy, you've got time." You don't. You have now. That's all you ever have. And what you do with now creates everything that comes next. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your systems. Your patterns. Your daily rituals. Your unspoken philosophy. So, check your philosophy. Check what you believe about success, about effort, about time, about who you think you are. Because your beliefs are the blueprint of your behavior. You want to change your life? Change your beliefs first. You're not lazy. You just don't believe enough in the person you could be. But belief is like a fire. You don't wait for it to start, you build it. Stick by stick. Win by win. Choice by choice. Until it burns so bright that doubt has no room left. And here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Most people are committed to their patterns, not their potential. They say they want change, but they protect the very behaviors that keep them small. They blame their past, but defend it every time it's challenged. They want freedom, but won't endure the structure that leads to it. You will never outperform the standards you tolerate. You will never grow beyond the identity you defend. And you will never become more until you demand more. So demand it. Raise your standard. Stop negotiating with procrastination. Stop arguing for your limitations. Stop playing small because it's familiar. The world doesn't need another lukewarm life. It needs you. Fully alive. Fully awake. Fully committed. To becoming the person only you can be. You see, success isn't somewhere out there. It's not hiding behind a breakthrough or waiting at the end of a perfect plan. It's buried deep inside you, beneath the hesitation, the fear, the self-doubt. And the only way to find it is to dig. To go into the depths of who you are and start chipping away at everything that doesn't belong. There's no elevator. There's no shortcut. Just a staircase, one step at a time, built from effort, character, and consistency. That's the secret no one wants to hear. Success is boring. It's not lights and applause. It's early mornings. Silent nights. Lonely decisions. It's doing the right thing long after the feeling has passed. It's keeping promises to yourself when no one is watching. Most people don't fail because they're not talented. They fail because they won't stay with the process long enough for it to work. They want results by Friday. They want transformation without transition. They want the reward without the discipline. But life doesn't work that way. Not real life. Not the life that fulfills you. That life, the meaningful one, the one worth living. It's earned. And here's the paradox. When you finally stop chasing outcomes, when you fall in love with the work, when you show up because it's who you are, not what you get, that's when it all starts to come together. You don't become successful. You become the kind of person who can handle success. And that's very different. Because real success requires strength. Not just physical strength, emotional, moral, spiritual strength. The strength to do the uncomfortable thing. To be disciplined when no one claps for it. To keep showing up when everything in you wants to quit. To tell the truth when a lie would be easier. To walk away from things that no longer match your future. This is why character matters. Because if your character isn't built, your success will collapse the moment pressure shows up. And pressure always shows up. So if you're struggling right now, if life feels heavy, if the weight is on your shoulders, good. That's your gym. That's where your next level is being built. Not in ease, but in resistance. Not in comfort, but in challenge. Because life doesn't test the weak. It tests the willing. And if you're being tested, it means life sees something in you that's worth refining. You want the truth? You are the problem. And that's the best news you'll ever hear. Because if you're the problem, then you're also the solution. You're not stuck because of the world. You're stuck because of your patterns. You're stuck because you're repeating old thoughts, old reactions, old fears. And calling it who you are. But who you are is fluid. It's moldable. It's designed to grow. The only question is, will you choose to grow it? You don't need permission. You don't need a perfect past. You don't need more time. You need decision. You need to look yourself in the mirror and say, I will not waste another year waiting for the world to change. I will change. And that will change everything. Let me give you something practical. Because philosophy without application is just noise. There are 5 areas that build a powerful life. Your mindset, how you interpret life. Your habits, what you repeat daily. Your standards, what you allow and demand. Your philosophy, the ideas you live by. Your circle, the people who shape your thinking. Audit each one. Is your mindset preparing you or paralyzing you? Do your habits build you or break you? Are your standards lifting you or letting you off the hook? Is your philosophy accidental or intentional? And are the people around you expanding your vision or shrinking it? Because you cannot rise beyond what you're surrounded by unless you choose to separate. Separate from average. Separate from distraction. Separate from anything that keeps you from the discipline of becoming. Rohn said it best. Don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectations are high and the pressure to perform is great. That's the truth. Growth happens when the pressure is on. So stop resenting the pressure. Start using it. Every day, you are training something. You are either training your excuses, or you are training your excellence. You are either rehearsing your limitations, or practicing your liberation. And that's the beauty of responsibility. It puts the keys back in your hand. It says, you are not a victim. You are a force, a creator, a builder. And the life you want will come through the discipline of building it, moment by moment, choice by choice. Let me end this segment with a question you need to ask yourself, deeply, honestly. Are you being loyal to your future? Or to your past? Because you can't serve both. You can't grow and cling. You can't evolve and hold on. You must decide. Do you want comfort or transformation? One will let you sleep. The other will wake you up. So many people live backwards. They carry the weight of who they used to be, dragging it like a shadow into every opportunity, every relationship, every new beginning. And they wonder why nothing changes. Why they keep circling the same mountains. Why success keeps slipping through their fingers. It's because they never left. They changed their goals, but not their identity. They upgraded their vision boards, but not their values. They talked about the future, but lived by the patterns of the past. Let me tell you something. You can't step into your future while defending your history. If you want to become something different, you have to let go of the story that says you can't. You have to bury the old narrative. The one that says, I've always been this way. I'm not that disciplined. I never finish things. I don't have the confidence. I don't come from that kind of background. Bury it. Burn it. Whatever you have to do, because your story is shaping your reality. And if you don't rewrite it, you will repeat it. You were not born to stay stuck. You were born to rise, to evolve, to grow, to transcend. Growth is not a luxury. It's not something nice to have when life slows down. It's your obligation. It's the tax you pay for the gift of existence. Every morning that you wake up is life saying, there's more in you. Every setback you face is life saying, build deeper roots. Every moment of doubt is life whispering, choose courage. But you've got to listen. You've got to move. You've got to stop waiting for the feeling and start acting on the decision. You don't need more motivation. You need a philosophy. A way of seeing the world that keeps you grounded, clear, and dangerous to mediocrity. Here's a truth I wish more people understood. Motivation fades. Philosophy lasts. Anyone can feel inspired for a weekend. But what happens when life gets loud? When the fire dims? When the applause stops and the grind begins? That's when philosophy steps in. Because philosophy isn't about hype. It's about principles. It's about deciding, once and for all, this is who I am. And this is how I show up, no matter what. You want to build an extraordinary life? Start by building an extraordinary philosophy. Write it. Live it. Tattoo it to your actions. Let it shape your choices, your standards, your circle, your schedule. Not 100 ideas. Just a few powerful, immovable ones. Like these. I don't wait, I create. I do hard things, especially when I don't feel like it. I refuse to be a victim of my past or a prisoner of my comfort. I work harder on myself than I do on anything else. That's what creates power. Not hype. Not hype. Principles. Lived out. Jim Rohn used to say, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Why? Because you are the engine. You are the system. You are the foundation that holds everything else up. You don't build wealth, you build the person who can create it. You don't chase confidence, you become someone confident through promises kept. You don't find your purpose, you forge it by living with intention. Success is never about chasing. It's about aligning. And alignment comes from philosophy. It comes from taking inventory of your life and asking, what am I tolerating? What am I prioritizing? What am I becoming? Because life is always moving. The question is, are you moving with it or just being moved by it? Let's talk about time. Time is the great equalizer. Rich or poor, young or old, no one gets more than 24 hours. But the way you use it, that's what separates the average from the exceptional. Most people don't waste time. They just spend it unconsciously. They leak it. To distractions. To indecision. To people and things that have no business being in their future. You need to treat time like a sacred resource. Because it is. You don't just spend an hour. You invest it, or you lose it. And once it's gone, it's never coming back. So be ruthless with your time. Protect your mornings like they hold your future, because they do. Schedule your days like your life depends on it, because it does. Audit your hours like you're building something eternal, because you are. This isn't about being busy. It's about being intentional. Focused. Clear. Aligned. Every minute is either moving you closer to who you want to be, or deeper into who you've always been. You don't need more hours. You need more clarity. More conviction. And clarity comes from values. Conviction comes from commitment. So what do you value enough to commit to? Stop saying, I don't have time. Start saying, it's not a priority. Because that's the truth. You didn't skip the gym because you were busy. You skipped because you didn't prioritize becoming stronger. You didn't skip reading because of time. You skipped because you didn't prioritize learning. And that's okay, if you're honest about it. Because when you get honest, you get free. And when you're free, you can change. Look, this isn't about perfection. It's about direction. It's about choosing, every day, to become a little more aligned with the person you know you could be. It's about waking up and saying, I will no longer betray my potential for the sake of comfort. I will no longer delay greatness because it feels inconvenient. Discipline is freedom. Responsibility is power. Growth is the path. And success doesn't come to you, it comes through you. Let's get real. Most people will never change. Not because they can't, but because they won't. They'll wait. They'll wish. They'll talk about it, post about it, think about it. But when the moment comes to move, to decide, to break the cycle, they'll choose comfort over calling. Not you. You wouldn't still be listening if you were built for average. You're not here to play it safe. You're not here to blend in. You're here to wake up. To rise. To confront the version of you that's been hiding behind fear. And say, no more. No more postponing your potential. No more making peace with mediocrity. No more waiting for someone else to believe in you first. You want your life to change? You must change. Nothing shifts until you do. Your income is a reflection of your value to the marketplace. Your health is a reflection of your habits. Your peace is a reflection of your philosophy. And your future? It's a reflection of the decisions you make today, right now. This is not a rehearsal. You don't get a do-over. There's no someday on the calendar. It's now. Always has been. Always will be. And listen, change is painful. That's why so few people do it. Because growth feels like dying to who you used to be. Because discipline feels like restriction until it sets you free. Because responsibility feels like pressure. But that pressure? It's where diamonds are made. Don't run from it. Run into it. Meet the resistance. Welcome the discomfort. Let it shape you. Let it refine you. You're not supposed to stay the same. You're not supposed to repeat the same year 75 times and call it a life. You're here to evolve. To extract every drop of potential out of your soul and pour it into this world. To become someone you're proud to meet in the mirror. That requires sacrifice. It requires cutting ties with old excuses, old patterns, and sometimes old people. It requires walking alone, getting misunderstood, failing forward. But that's the price of freedom. That's the price of becoming someone who doesn't just dream, but does. Let me speak to the part of you that's tired. That's fought battles no one knows about. That's carried weight in silence. That's tried and failed, gotten back up, and still wonders, will it ever be enough? Hear me clearly. You are not broken. You're becoming. You are not behind. You're being forged. And everything you've been through, every storm, every scar, every setback, it's all been preparation. Because the version of you who can handle the life you're praying for, they are being born in the fire of your current discipline. Don't quit now. You're closer than you think. Not to a result, but to a revelation. That you were always it. You were always the missing piece. Not a better strategy. Not more followers. Not the perfect timing. You. Your hunger. Your discipline. Your decision to no longer settle for the version of you who only survives. Because surviving is not living. And existing is not the same as becoming. One day, you'll look back on this moment. On the day you decided to stop being casual with your potential. And realize. That was the day everything changed. Not because your circumstances changed. But because you did. Because you stopped asking, what can I get? And started asking, who can I become? Because you stopped running from pressure. And started training under it. Because you stopped hoping life would be easier. And instead chose to become stronger. And make no mistake, this world doesn't need more comfortable people. It needs more people who are awake. Who are alive. Who are living with intention, with conviction, with fire in their chest and discipline in their bones. People who understand that legacy isn't built in a weekend. It's built in the dark. It's built when no one is watching. It's built when you rise after failing. When you forgive without apology. When you say no to the easy thing so you can say yes to the right thing. That's how you build a life. Not a moment. A life. And you're building it right now. So what will it be? Another year of almost. Of waiting. Of someday. Of good intentions that never see the light? Or will this be the year you drew the line? Will this be the year you refuse to go back? Will this be the year you chose your future over your fear? Because here's what I know. You have it in you. It's not out there. It's in you. Success doesn't come to you. It comes through you. Through your mindset. Through your habits. Through your self-leadership. your resilience, your philosophy. So choose today. Not someday. Not when it's perfect. Not when you feel ready. Now. Start. Decide. Move. Become. Because the life you want is not a lottery ticket. It's a consequence. A byproduct. A reward for who you become. And you're becoming unstoppable.